Do you sometimes see movement in your 3D reality towards your manifestation and then nothing more happens? Things stall out and you're sort of left wondering what's happening, what's going on, is this all that I get? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my personal techniques for seeing movement and making sure that the movement turns into momentum. And I'm having a little bit of a froggy voice, so hopefully my voice will hold up for this. Hello everyone. I am your Muse Traci. I am your favorite manifestation coach. I'm here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching and I also offer group coaching. And in my coaching program, we take a deep dive into your subconscious programming or your belief system, and we do the work to change the programming that is effectively covering up and masking your true nature. I take you through the process of identifying and changing the programming. I'll also teach you how to integrate the creator belief system, release stored emotions from the past, as well as teaching you how to honor and process your emotions on an ongoing basis, as well as much, much more. We meet 2 to 3 times per week, and in between the sessions, you have email access to me as well. So it is an intensive month designed to create real transformation. This is for you if you want to move past one-off sessions, one-off coaching sessions that are sort of a band-aid. This program creates real transformation in every area of your life and returns you back to your true nature of being an effortless and unlimited creator. Most of my clients stay in coaching 2 to 3 months. Not all of them. Some stay shorter, some stay longer. It's really up to you how long you want to take to integrate and sort of, how much support you need, the level of support you feel that you need at this point. Either way, my clients come out of the program transformed and back in their ability to create everything that they desire. They stop struggling and they stop suffering, and they finally understand how to apply all of the intellectual knowledge that they've been consuming for sometimes years. So, okay, on to the video before my voice gives out completely. So, this is my personal technique or mindset when it comes to turning movement into momentum. And it may not surprise you if you've seen my previous videos about this subject. A lot of what I practice is also what I teach. So I did mention some of these in a previous video on the 3 things keeping the movement going, the 3 things to avoid. So there might be some overlap, but I'm going to talk about how I use these things in my personal life to make sure when I see movement that I keep the ball rolling and turn it into momentum. So I highly recommend, if you haven't seen those videos, go and watch those. It would be a good build up to this video. And if you, watch the videos. So again, the reason I'm making these videos is because I think this is more of a stumbling block. I see with my clients is more of a stumbling block than they even realize until we get into talking about it. And then we realize that, oh, the movement is what threw you off, right? So it is more of a stumbling block for people than they realize. And so here's the video that you didn't know that you needed, that you didn't know you needed. So we don't think of getting movement, it's going to throw me off or potentially trigger me or potentially cause some kind of setback, or I should say a perceived setback, right? You don't really think about it. You just think, I want the movement, I want the movement, I want the movement. So you're never actually being set back. You're always being shown where the work is, where your next, limiting belief is, or what's still maybe off with your self-concept. So you're never being set back. You're always being shown where the next level is for you to work, right? So if getting movement helps to show you that, nothing's going wrong. You're just being shown oh, here's the thing that you were aligning with and intending for and deciding to experience. Here it is. And now you're being shown that you have some resistance there. Okay. So let's start here. When I get movement in my 3D reality, and I do because I'm always working on creating something new, whether it's in business or relationships or finances or whatever, I call it going to the next level. And whenever I'm starting to get movement to the next level, I pay very close attention to anything inside of me that is being triggered. Fear, resistance, some limiting beliefs, usually shows up as like a fear inside of me. Okay. And yes, I still have some fears. As I go to the next level, there's new things, new fears that show up. Oh, what a lovely thing. But it's just how this is. You're never finished. There's always more to evolve and grow within yourself, right? I've said this in past videos. It's not a journey. It's not like a destination that we're trying to get to. It's a never-ending journey of evolution. That's what we're here for. So I pay very close attention to what's going on inside of me. Yes, it's great that the movement is showing up. I'm expecting that, obviously. But it's more about, as that shows up, what's going on inside of me. Oh, that's the interesting piece. So, and I understand why it's coming up at this moment, right? I don't get tricked into thinking like, oh no, oh, I don't get to have this, or oh no, this fear that I'm having is real. What it's saying, it's that something like, what's the saying is what I'm trying to get at. There's some saying that I've heard that when you go to a new level, you have new challenges, and that's what's going on. So whenever you're leveling up, your reality is going to show you movement, and then when you receive this movement, you may have new triggers to deal with. And as long as you understand that this is what's happening and there's not an actual limitation at this new level, then you know exactly what to do with it. So my personal technique is that I don't let fear, limiting beliefs, whatever type of resistance that is coming up, fool me, right? That's not to say that I don't feel it as real. I do. It's my limitation, my perceived limitation, my past limitation. But I've been at this long enough to understand that even though this new fear limitation that's coming up feels real, I know that it's not. Okay. I know that I understand everything is possible. This new level, there's not actually a ceiling at this new level, right? There may be a perceived ceiling inside of me at this very moment, but I'm calling BS on that because I know what that is. And I know I'm only ever limited by my own concepts of myself or about something in relation to me. That's it. And if I feel some resistance or limiting belief bubbling up to the surface, I've developed the skill to identify it for what it is and do the work to change it, to basically stop believing in it. Okay? When I feel that fear rise up, I have trained myself, I've learned to know what that is and to stop believing in it. Fear only persists if you keep believing in it. You see, your thoughts and even your beliefs are harmless unless you continue to invest in believing in them. If you continue to invest in believing in them, then no, they're not harmless. But you have a choice to say, I no longer believe that that's true. Or not each and every single time the belief shows up, if you stay consistent with this change, the belief will change as a result, right? So it's about you being in charge. You really are in charge. Your beliefs are not in charge of you. It's just something that you previously believed in. And in the moment, in the now moment, this is where all of your power is. And in this now moment, you can choose to no longer believe in those old limiting beliefs. This is the power that you have. Okay, so that's the first thing that I do. I understand, I get movement. Oh, there's probably going to be a new fear, limiting belief. And I've trained myself to identify that. Okay, so I'm aware of the triggers that come up. I should also mention that I don't get down on myself for having these limiting beliefs or these triggers. when I feel these new triggers or old beliefs showing up, I know that a lot of you that I talk to, my one-on-one clients, are very hard on yourselves, and you are wanting to have gotten it already. And you want to have mastered all of this yesterday. And this sort of self-criticism and self-judgment does nothing in the way of helping you progress. It accomplishes the opposite, actually. So yes, always having grace with yourself. And as long as you understand what is happening, nothing is going wrong, actually. Nothing. You see, these things have to come up to the surface in order to be changed. So not only is nothing going wrong, everything is going exactly right when your fears and limiting beliefs come up to the surface. They have to come up so that you can change them. So you don't need to be hard on yourself, okay? Nothing is going wrong. Everything is going right for you to continue to progress and expand into the next level. Now, the most important thing that I also do is I see the movement as the start of the unfolding. And this is something that I was very much harping on in the other videos. I know I talked about this. This is very important, actually. And I really want to drive this point home because this is where I see so many people being derailed, which is when this is the number one thing that derails them next to the limiting beliefs coming up. But this is a sneaky one. This is a sneaky one. If you label your movement as partial manifestations or, this is all I get, when it was really going to be the whole thing, right? If you would just allow it to unfold, if you would allow it to evolve and turn into the whole thing. But if you are looking at movement as, this is all that I get, then you are the one in control. If you give it that meaning, that's what it turns into. So, and this is really what messing with the middle is, right? It's one of the ways you can. You see reality starting to shift and show you evidence of your internal shift. And before the whole enchilada can be delivered, you go, but hey, I wanted the full package. Where's the full package? This is all I'm getting, right? So this is just the side dish showing up. So let me give you an analogy. When you're at a Mexican restaurant, if you've placed your order, your main meal, and before the main meal shows up, what do you get? You usually get chips and salsa. Of course, everybody loves chips and salsa. So when the chips and salsa come out, you don't go, hey, where's my main meal? You don't do that. You go, oh, this is lovely to tide me over to my main meal. You don't mistake the chips and salsa as like, oh, they're bringing me this, right? Silly analogy, but you get the point. And if you love Mexican food as much as I do, then it's a lovely analogy to talk about. So sometimes when we look at things through an analogy, we can see how silly it is, right? It's silly. You wouldn't do this with the food, right? But we're doing it with our manifestations. And we do this because of fear. When we see the chips and salsa come out, we don't have fear that, oh no, they are not going to bring me my full meal, right? But if you're reacting to your movement showing up and wondering why this is all you're getting, then there is some fear that you're having that needs to be looked at. Like I was mentioning, that when you go to the next level, fears will emerge. Your limiting beliefs will emerge. And this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing because you have to look at it. Look at what's inside of you. It's already there. You might as well look at it. What you resist persists. So we're not resisting that we're having fear. We're not denying that we're having fear. We're looking at it. Oh, that's interesting. I had a fear about my movement. What you look at disappears and dissipates. Okay, what you resist persists. Please drill this into your mind, into your thought patterns. You don't need to resist anything. The faster you rewrite your fears, the faster you accelerate your movement into momentum, right? So we don't need to resist them. We need to appreciate them. Not that we're, overly concerned with time and speeding things up, but there is such a thing as progressing and creating this snowball effect. You should be progressing. You should be building your movement into momentum, right? And this is one of the keys to doing that. Stop believing in your limiting beliefs. Thinking that you can't change a belief, or that it's hard to change beliefs, or blah, 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 your subconscious mind, oh, I don't know what's in there. It's like that's not helpful. So I've even experienced it all, and I've been there, and, but the truth is, you're not bound to these concepts. It's just a belief. It's just something you accepted that are not universal truths. It's not a universal law. They are just some concept or idea that you've previously accepted as true, and you keep going back to. It's nothing more, nothing less than that. So remember, this is a game of self-mastery. This is all that this is really about. This is all that's going on here. So you can start to have more self-mastery right now in this moment, just by deciding that you do. It doesn't need to be any harder than that. So I think this video took some twists and turns, but this is the two really key things that I personally, my personal process for turning movement into momentum, which when things turn into momentum, they're taking off. There's nothing more for me to do. Everything has its own momentum, right? That's the point. So if you haven't already seen my other videos about movement, the things to do, the things to avoid, go and watch those videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.